Hello class, today we are going to do a lion painting. All right, so you're gonna need yellow, white, a lighter shade of brown, and a darker shade of brown. The first thing you're gonna do, and I don't know that you can see it in this video, but I put 2 yellow lines on your paper so you would know where the bottom of the lion's face and the top of his head should be. All right, so the first thing you're gonna do is make kind of an egg shape. Start at the top, go around, just make a quick egg shape. And then here's the bottom of his face, make 2 circles. So we got an egg and 2 circles, almost like the shape of oranges. All right, and then you wanna fill that in. And if you see little puddles of yellow, you want to spread those thin. And just fill in all of his face. And we're going to put a little smile down here because that's the bottom of his face. All right, so I'm almost completely filled in with paint, making sure I don't have any white spots. The next thing I want to do is his ears, and I kind of make a rainbow line. Like right about here is one ear, right about here is the other ear. I'm kind of marking them ahead of time. And then I just kind of go like a rainbow and make an arc. And fill it in. And I feel like I'm doing good on the shape of his face because I feel like it kind of looks like a cougar right now. All right, so the next thing you want to do when we're done with the yellow, we're going to be using tissues a lot today. When you are changing colors, you're going to be wiping your brush off with a tissue. We're not gonna use water today. All right, so the next thing you wanna do, and I'm actually gonna put that brush aside and use something a little smaller. Either something like a round brush, a small round brush like this, or a skinny flat brush. I'm gonna go with a round brush. We're gonna detail the areas on his face, like his eyes and his nose. So we're gonna take the lighter shade of brown, and we're simply going to start by outlining what I call his chops. I just put it into the wrong shade. Hang on, wipe my brush off, go back into the correct shade. Right here, we're gonna put a triangle for his nose. Then we're gonna go around the side. We're gonna outline the bottom of the very bottom of his chin, I would call it. We're gonna outline his ears. We're gonna put a little line on both ears. And we're gonna make an arc, a rainbow arc in his ears to fill it in. All right, then we're gonna make 2 footballs. One for each eye. Then we're gonna take the corner of the football and go down to the nose and connect it. Then we're going to take the dark paint, and you may need to stir it a little because I toned the dark paint down a little with some yellow. So you may need to stir it if you see swirls in there. We're gonna put 2 dots, and actually, I'm going back to the light paint because I forgot to put this line. Okay, now we're going to the dark paint. 2 dots on either side of the line, kind of like the middle of the line. Then you want the other whisker dots to go like this. That way when we pull white out, then this one won't run over the other 2 dots. We've kind of spaced them out strategically. All right, next thing we're gonna do is take the lighter brown and go into our lighter brown, or take the smaller brush and go into our lighter brown paint. And we're going to make, work on the mane. But in order to get the mane, the shape that it should be, we're gonna go and make a straight line on the top of his head at 12, 3, bottom of his head at 6, side of his head at 9, just like a clock, 12, 3, 6, and 9. Then at his ears, we're going to curve to the corner from each ear. Then at his, what I call chops, we're gonna curve to the corner at his chops. What this does is lay out the mane for you so you don't get any weird directional hairlines. This way, if you'll fill in between the middle of each of the original lines that we created, the 12, 3, 6, and 9, and the corners, if you fill in the middle, it'll really be kind of automatic when you start putting in his mane. It's all gonna go the right direction when you start filling in. And then that's what we're doing. We're just taking the brush and filling in his mane. Just going in between these lines. He has a nice arrangement of hair because we put those lines in early. Just keep going all the way around. All right, so now that we got his mane in there, we're gonna fill in some spaces. We're gonna change brushes. Lay that down for a second. Use your smaller brush and add in some extra hairs in those open areas. We're trying to cover that white. Add in some extra hairs. Try to get close to his face, like even touch it on the edge. Hopefully my yellow's dry because I'm using putting my finger in the yellow to hold it down so it doesn't move as I'm painting. And one thing I'm going to ask you to do is keep your palette neat because I am using it all day. All right, next thing you're going to do, same little brush. Definitely in the dark brown, you don't want to use the big brush because you just want this to be little non-overpowering pops of color to give it dimension. Just spread them out. All right, and I'm not gonna make you watch me fill in the whole mane. Just make sure that you're using a small brush with that darker brown because you don't want to overpower that beautiful reddish brown that we have. When you get to the whiskers, it's gonna be a matter of taking a white on your brush and pull it across. One little thing you can do is pick up a little brown on your palette to help that white show up a little bit. So you're not doing just pure white. You're going into the white. You're trying not to mix it with any other colors. But when you pull through, you're gonna get some brown on it. Go back over it a couple times and that'll make it kind of show up a little better because the white is so pale, obviously. And when we get ready for the eyes, I simply, and you can use a paintbrush, but I just like to dip my finger in the green and put a baseball in the football. All right, ladies and gentlemen, have fun.